What's up, everybody? Dave Bartosiak here, and I've got another chart of the day for you. This time, we're talking about Boeing, ticker BA. What a frustrating ride it has been for Boeing shareholders. I'm going way back here, 2019. Why am I going back to 2019? Because these sort of quote unquote boring stocks, right? The big, large cap, monoliths are supposed to be stocks you buy, you hold, and you don't really worry about so much. Okay. Well, tell that to the people that were buying this in the 300s, 400, that type of thing. So we all know Boeing has had some issues, right? To say the least. So let's just kind of fast forward to the post-COVID lows, right? I mean, this precipitous drop. I mean, just disgusting. But remember, the whole world shut down. Airplane carriers had been canceling orders. All types of things happening. Boeing resurrected itself, got out of there, made a run up at 280. Then we get another big dump. I mean, these are massive swings. This dump here, I want to sort of keep as a reference point, right? Into these 2022 lows. And the other thing I'm going to do with these 2022 lows is I'm going to draw the fib, okay? Lows to the highs, so we have it. All right, now, here's the fun part about this that you'll notice. Lows here, highs here. Notice how the market gaps down here, finds a little bit of a bid at the 23.6 retracement. Then you get another little area, this 38.2, where it sort of spends some time in there, right? Then the 50% provided a little bit of a ceiling there, okay? Then you get a little choppiness around the 61.8. And now 78.6, this is where the most recent support is, okay? Interesting stuff because, that fib is based on values that you saw from June until December. So since December 2023, this entire year now, you've had these levels. So this isn't something that's like backfitted and back tested to make it look cool. We didn't optimize this. It was there. Okay. So now I'm going to get that. I love the multicolor of the fibs here, but it gums up our analysis a little bit. But just take note of it and know that down here, we're sort of at that last level. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this now and clean this up. Zoom this in. And what have you done for me lately? Because really what we're worried about now is just the most recent negativity. And what's the negativity now? Well, where do we start? I don't know. I guess you could say sort of the black eye from the Starliner failing, stranding those astronauts in space, having to get bailed out by SpaceX. I'm sure Boeing is going to right this ship. Right now, it just feels like it's just the bottom, right? It feels like the bottom. They're going to lay off 10% of their workforce, which is very upsetting, but maybe that's what they need to do. Maybe those are the cost-cutting measures that are going to help turn this thing around. And we do have a little bit of a turnaround the last couple of days. You have this gap down, right? But look at all this overhead resistance. I mean, this has just been a constant negative drag, just showing that there has been a ton of sellers. And look at the series of lower highs that just continues. And this trend channel, just negative, just lower lows. Just a lot of negativity here, right? So what you're looking for is that magic reversal. Now, one of the key ingredients of a reversal, my friends, is volume. You need a big volume day for a reversal, right? So here we have big volume. That was at least a reversal in the short term. Big volume, reversal in the short term. But here's the trouble. We have big volume, no real reversal. Not big volume day, no real reversal. And now the volume is starting to dry up. So a couple of things could be happening. We could be getting a very tepid sort of bounce and recovery, but we have not had that capitulation day where you get a huge spike up in volume and the stock bounces, right? Have yet to see that. Now, it's rare to have, low volume reversals of a trend that for Boeing has gone on for so long, but it does happen. So I want to point this out, right? This move last fall, you do have Like, we're going to have to zoom in on this just to show specifically when does this large volume node come in. So this is a higher volume day. This is back on October 25th. You have 13 million shares that traded. It's a lower volume environment in general, right? You guys can see that. There's not a ton of volume happening. Boom, you get a big volume spike, back to not a ton of volume happening, right? So at least relative to the volumes of that month, that's a much higher volume day. And that sparked a reversal, right? Sparked a nice reversal, which subsequently sort of died out on, guess what? Another high volume day, right? High volume day, a failure above that. That means nobody was there to buy that. Otherwise, this volume would be a lot more. And then we're coming on down. So you could have a day where there's just an exhaustion of that selling pressure. And we get something similar here too, right? Now, this is sort of a big volume day, initiated this first little bounce, but as it comes back down again, not a lot of volume. And notice, what month is that? October, September, October, it's in the fall. So there have been times when Boeing sort of, gets this exhaustion of sellers. There's not really a capitulation, and it starts to tick back up, right? So I think for a long-term shareholder, that's what you're hoping that you're seeing right now. You're hoping that there's just nobody else that's left to sell, and it's all over, and now Boeing is going to eke higher, okay? That's the Goldilocks positive scenario. What's more likely is that this overhead resistance continues to be overhead resistance. This continues to drift lower. Boeing gets into this gap, and then the boo birds continue. And this thing keeps trickling on down, because this level, while it was a fib level, we're going to see whether or not that really is strong enough to support a bounce. Now, it has before in the past, right? So down under 150, people have, come in and bought Boeing. Maybe the cost saving safe can help them, but there's some wicks that are down a whole lot further on this thing. And the way that it's shaping up, it just feels like there could be a retest down into the 120s before it really, gets to new highs. Now, that being said, it's a volatile stock, right? It can move 30, 40 bucks over the course of a couple, 2 or 3 months, right? So don't be surprised to see something like that. Don't be surprised if this does whip up above the 200-day and then find more pressure, right? But I just feel that there will be some pressure building. Now, if you're a long-term Boeing shareholder, you're bullish on the stock, or it's a stock that you're thinking, you know what, in 10 years, Boeing's going to right the ship. I can go ahead and systematically invest here. If it dips more, I'll buy here. If not, I'll buy it up there, whatever. I think in the grand scheme, if you're bullish on the overall trajectory of Boeing, it wouldn't be a bad place to start pecking at it down here. But don't be surprised if you get another big downturn like this. That's a multi-month sort of deal, okay? So from a technical aspect, is this flashing a buy right now? Maybe in the short term, right? Because you have that bounce off the fib, but it's got to approach this gap. If it gets into that gap, good. The next level of resistance is going to be this swing high, 158.76. Then above that, you have the 50-day at 161.58. Oh, look at me. I've been talking 200 this whole time. And it turns out I only typed 100. I'll fix that real quick. It's not going to look too much different. You're going to have that same overhead resistance here. Negatively slopes. So, not looking so good over there at Boeing. Not looking too good at all. All right, folks, there you have it for my chart of the day. Be sure to follow the author over here if you're on Zacks.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and come and check us out again tomorrow, where I'll have another chart of the day based on whatever cool event is happening in the market. So for everybody here at Zacks.com, I'm Dave Bartosiak, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.